Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video, and in this video we're going to be talking about World of Warcraft Mythic Plus, how to get into it, why it is so good to do, and just what it can actually do for your character in terms of progression, artifact power, gear, all that sort of stuff, as well as legendaries actually. So as you guys are probably aware, this is actually my US druid. I dinged level 110 3 days ago. In 3 days, I've managed to hit 932. That's with doing everything in my normal life as well, just casually grinding it out. Haven't done anything excessive, haven't done anything crazy. I got my first legendary. It was a pretty trash one, but actually it's not bad for resto and tank, and that's important for a couple of reasons that I'll go over in a minute. But Mythic Plus is just one of the best sources of farmable gear out there. I mean, a 915, I believe, from Mythic 10, 935 or 40 or something from like Mythic 15, just 960 gear from the weekly chest if you do a Mythic 15 once a week. It's just so easy to do, and that's obviously pretty crazy gear considering the time spent in it. I do a specific couple of Mythic Pluses, for no other reason than I just like the dungeons. Karazhan, I've been a fan of Karazhan since Burning Crusade. It's my favourite dungeon, so I do Karazhan. More lower than upper, just because upper, I've had some dodgy groups in there. Quarter Stars, farm Quarter Stars all day long. Dark Heart Thicket, another great one. Eye of Azshara, kind of skip. Halls of Valor, don't like that dungeon, it's just way too long for me. Mora Souls, everyone loves a good old Mora Souls. Natharian's Lair, another one again. Like I said, lower Karazhan, tend to skip upper. Archway's a longer dungeon, but I also do that as well. That's usually what you want to see in a Mythic Plus, but yeah, Archway's another one I actually do. It's a little bit of a longer one, but actually I do like doing that one. So you've got a couple of different dungeons there you can just look for repeatedly. First tip I'm going to give you for Mythic Plus: do your own key. And it sounds crazy, but I go out, right, and I'm at a high level now where I can get into other groups. This is like a +7 or something, or +9. And I go into this with no issues with the item level I've got now. But when you're just getting started, everyone in Pugs wants higher eye level than you actually need for the dungeon. Or for the raid or whatever, just in anything. You need higher eye level just to get in than you actually get gear for. This mythic level 4 Halls of Valor. So if I was to do that in a pug, if I was to apply for that in a pug, they'd want me to be at least 910 plus gear. Maybe I'd get away with being 900, but that's very unlikely. Because of supply and demand. The demand for keys is higher than the supply for them, because you only get one key each, and some of them will get to keys where you just impossible to be able to do them. So for high eye level people that just want to run through fast low level keys or whatever, or boost friends through keys, that sort of thing, they want to do these low ones. So actually a 900 is going to be competing against a 930, and who's actually going to win that fight? Obviously they're going to invite the 930. So my biggest suggestion is when you're trying to gear up with Mythic Plus, make sure you're doing your own keys. Make your own groups. Just a little bit off topic, but I did Antorus today. For the first time, I did it full run on normal. We had 3 wipes, 2 of which were on Coven, and 1 of which on... I don't even know what the boss name was. It's literally been that new. 1 of which on Portal Keeper, because we actually screwed up the last portal. We didn't have a tank go through, and then our whole raid just got murdered. But yeah, so very easy run. I actually made the group myself because I didn't have the eye level, I didn't have the achievement, so you know what, I made the group myself. And my whole motto for the run was, guys, I don't care about your eye level, I don't care about your achievement, just come have fun, do the raids. If you struggle, then either look up tactics, or if you're struggling that much, then I'll leave it to you to leave. I'm not going to just kick people for no reason. I did kick a couple of people from the run, just because they were just kept messing up repeatedly, and they're the kind of people that was just going to leech off anyway. But yeah, we just went through, we had a good time, we cleared the raid, I got a load of gear from it, and it was a good experience. And the thing is, at no point during that did I need an achievement. And the same for Mythic Plus. Mythic Plus, people will, like, to do a +10, you have to link a +10. By that logic, how do you get a +10? Like, if I have to do a +10, to get into a plus 10, then how on earth do I ever get that achievement? And it's that sort of logic. So make sure you're doing your own keys. Last week, by myself, I pushed my key to like 8, and I had less than 900 eye level on it. This week, I'm going to push for 15 this week on my own key. Why? Because I'm not going to get into a group without the achievement that tells me I need to do a plus 15. So I'm going to push my own key. So the biggest thing, and this is why I've spoke about this point for so long, is that do your own key. It is so important, because you gain nothing by joining another group, whereas you can actually get higher keys and higher loot by doing your own key. Especially if you get a nice key. If you get like a 15 more souls or like a 13 more souls, you can push that, and you'll get groups come out in that group that will be like, yeah, we'll boost you in that. Like we'll run you through. We'll be on like 950s. We'll run you through that for free because we want your key. And that's when you just sit there laughing, because next week you can go, well, yeah, but last week I cleared a 15 and I have the achievement for it, so this time I can have the achievement. So that's the first tip. Second tip is be flexible. It's a really big thing. So this week, I'm just going to show it. This week my highest is a 10. Again, not really great geared. I've actually gained a load of this gear from the raid. I went up 13 eye level in the raid, so... but Dark Art Thicket wasn't a particularly hard run. The affixes are lovely this week, so I'm just going to run through. I did that run as Resto. Now, my Resto weapon, just to show you, 898 eye level, literally had to go and buy a relic to put in it. I didn't even have that relic at the time, so it was 24 eye level, actually 29 eye level below. It's just unnecessary to... like really go out your way. You don't have to go full on resto and be like, oh, okay, well I need to buff that out to like 940 to be able to heal a raid just so I can boost my boomy gear. But twice this expansion I've used resto or tank to boost my eye level. So I before I actually stopped playing WoW during Trial of Valor, my chamois was doing plus 15s just consistently as resto, but I was elemental main. So effectively, I was just healing for Mythic Pluses to then go into other runs and go Elemental. But once I got the gear, it was no problem, and I could do that. And I kept doing it. And I'm going to do the same on this one. Just, I can go in now as Boomy because I've got the gear, but if I couldn't, I would do higher keys with Resto. Just because it's a way to get into the dungeon. And it's annoying that you have to do it, but again, be flexible. If your best way of getting gear is by going, I don't know, you're playing a chamois, your best way of getting gear is going resto, or you're playing a DK, you want to play frost, but your best way of getting gear is going blood, then do it. For a couple of runs till you get some gear, it's worth doing 100%. And that is that's a big recommendation. Be flexible with it. You don't have to just be like, well, I am a DPS player and nothing but a DPS player. Look at some tactics as well. So actually something I want to do on my channel in the next couple of weeks. It's probably going to take me a couple of weeks to do, truthfully, but again, it's something that I want to work on, is actually doing like pull guides for tanks in Mythic Plus, because that's obviously one of the biggest things. I'm going to die here, aren't I? That's one of the biggest things possible, is making sure you actually know what to pull in Mythic Plus. It sounds crazy, but actually that's a big contributing factor, depending on like the affixes for making a fast run. And if you're not pulling right, people will start flaming, and you don't want that. So again, that's something I'm going to be working on. It's an easy thing that you can pick up in dungeons for just a very little time investment. But yeah, so first things first, obviously use your own keys. Second thing, just be flexible. And the third thing is kind of don't undersell yourself. I promise you, 900 eye level, you can do enough DPS with a decent, if you're confident as a DPS, to do Mythic 10. Look at the eye level it drops. You need less eye level than that to complete it. Funny enough, that's how Blizzard designed it. If a Mythic 15 drops 930 gear base, you don't need 930 gear to clear it. You might need 930 gear to 3-chest it, but that's different again. So don't just farm low keys, because it isn't efficient. Actually, at this point, it's more efficient to farm as high keys as you can. the artifact equivalent, if not better, from higher keys, and the gear drops are just huge. Obviously, Warforged and Titanforged are a major thing right now, and obviously they are big factors, but it's kind of a null point when you can do, if you're relying on Titanforging, doing a Mythic 3 compared to a Mythic 10 for the same amount of work investment potentially, you'll guarantee better gear from one of them. So don't undersell yourself. Do Mythic Plus at the level that you know you can. Obviously use these other tactics to get into groups like that. So just an example, as a healer, I guarantee you can do a Mythic Plus, 3 Mythic Pluses higher than what you're at. Yeah, I didn't need to CR you. So as a healer, if my max is Mythic 15 as a boomy right now, I could do Mythic 17 as a healer if I was confident healing, because I could get into the groups. But like I said, you wouldn't be able to do that as a boomy. So being flexible, using all the advice given so far, go out there, do your Mythic Pluses. And while Mythic Plus, a lot of people don't like this content, a lot of people do. I personally love Mythic Pluses just because I've loved like the Diablo style of farming. Doing the same run over and over again because it's good for like one item that you're farming. That's the sort of playstyle I enjoy, and I get not everyone's going to be about that. I wish people would stop dying this run. And this is another thing, actually. Probably, it's a minor tip, but stay positive. If you are the best player in the world, no one else can be as good as you. And the reason I say that is, like, in this run, I'm pretty much doing, on any sustained fight, I'm doing, like, the top damage. I'm having to res people, I'm not failing into volcanoes, whatever. But at no point in this have I felt the need to sit in party and go, oh my god, you guys suck, link me your 15 achievement. It's just no need. Actually be the carry. It's a nicer feeling being the carry and being like, yeah, it's fine guys, don't worry about it, I'll help the DPS out. Or your healer's struggling, so you're playing whatever, a hybrid class, heal a little bit, or your tank's struggling, so you give them some advice on pulls, things like this. Actually help your Mythic Plus runs go smoother. I actually did it last night. We did like 7 keys, because we ended up doing like all of our keys, because we had one really good run where we were like, yeah, actually we all get on, let's do some more keys together. Because none of us were assholes and we were all like positive with it. So guys, I'm not going to go on and on about it. Mythic Plus, amazing for legendaries. Ow, that hurt. Amazing for legendaries, amazing for gear farming, artifact power. I mean, artifact power, I've pushed this in 3 days to like, I'm going to say 68, 69 traits now. And at that point, it's not really I mean, it's still obviously you want to get as high as you can, but it's not necessary to push it higher. And yeah, so guys, thank you for watching. More WoW content to come on the channel soon, so leave a like and subscribe if this helped you in any way. Thank you for watching, and catch you later, guys. Goodbye.